Well, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, family, wherever you are. We are excited. This is a day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. And I have another young brother with us today, and I'm telling you, I'm overjoyed. I'm just getting acquainted with him, seeing his face for the first time, hearing his voice for the first time. But I've seen him over the internet making waves in an area that I know for a fact we got a tidal wave coming, and we want to get as many people in place and in position as possible. Let me give a little bit of his bio, but I'm going to have him to really introduce some more background things with us. But our brother Aaron has been involved in trading and investing since 2009. He's been a successful trader since the end of 2016 after taking this thing serious. He has helped many persons become 7, 6, 5, and 4-figure traders. And since that time, he has literally taken hold of a simple style of teaching, and he's helping people all around the world. He loves to help people realize their full potential. And with that said, we have our brother Aaron Lockhart with us today. Man of God, God bless you, man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Pastor Mel. It's an honor to be here. And like I said, I found that you're a pastor. I mean, it made my heart feel good. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity just to share with a little bit about what I do and then why people should learn the skill.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, when I saw some of your posts, I think it was a week and a half ago when I first saw them, I said, this brother knows his stuff. And it did my heart joy to see you speaking with the authority and with the high level of proficiency on such a subject that I'll be honest, man, I'm 53. It was 50 before I even knew anything. I can't even say knew anything about to even know it existed. And we're talking about Forex. But before we even go into that space, tell us a little bit about yourself first.
I am 50 years old. I've been married for 26 years. So I've got 4 kids.
Congratulations.
I used to be a software engineer, a network engineer, served in the military, got injured when I was in the military. The reason I had gotten serious about Forex was that in 2015, beginning of 2015, I wasn't feeling well, and I couldn't get in to see the VA for months. So at that time, I had the means where I could go, pay for a doctor outside to see what's going on, and they told me I had kidney and liver failure. And it was from the medicine the VA was giving me for my service-connected injury. So I had to change a bunch of things. I stopped working because working was stress, and I had to figure out how to make money. And I ended up, like I said, I've been in this industry since 2009, but I didn't get serious until after that injury because I needed to do something to make the same kind of money, right?
Yes.
Because right now when you go to work, you're trading time for dollars. Most people think that they're making money, but they're not really making money. They're bartering. They're exchanging one thing for another. And then when you go to work for somebody, you're exchanging your time for a set amount of dollars. So I needed to establish that my income again, because that the saying is, you can't have romance if you don't have finance. My wife, my wife, she was patient. She's patient, but it's like,
I understand.
Yeah.
Listen, you got 26, I got 31. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So I just needed to do something, to really commit because I had seen people, I heard it, and money for me, getting into this here, you have to realize that money is just a tool. You have to look at how things actually are, and the world revolves around money. It just is. We are in a global economy, right? It takes money to do everything. The Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. And that's a problem that people get into, especially when it comes into learning the Forex skill, because they only focus on the money, which then they get into a gambling mentality. And you have to approach it like you do if you were going to get education to become, a doctor, or a teacher, or a mechanic, or anything like that. It takes time. You have to learn. You have to craft your skill. It's not easy. It's not overnight thing. Sure, some people come out of the gate pretty quickly like a horse, but it's the mentality has to be changed so that you recognize that money is just a tool to make things better in your life. Can you establish a real life money tree by learning this skill set in the Forex market? Yes, you can. But it takes time, it takes patience, it takes discipline. And a lot of us, because of the choices that we make in life, we're in a hurry, which causes us to fail. And within this trading industry, they said it's 95+% failure rate. And that's because people are focused on the wrong thing.
I like what you said, the gambling aspect. So you're giving us some red flags, because we're going to go into that space a little bit later. But one of the red flags, you're watching this broadcast, this is not a gamble. This is a skill set. This is a profession. This is an education. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because as traders, and when I'm educating people, I tell them to say it 3 times. I am a professional trader. So when you go home and you're in the mirror, you say it to yourself in the mirror. You look, and you have to say it to believe. You've ever read that book, Think and Grow Rich? Think and Grow Rich. It starts with belief, and then desire, and then action. Right. So you have to believe first. And in order to believe, you have to keep telling yourself that. You have to see it, smell it, hear it every single day. Because the little engines in here can affect our mental aspect, or how we see or do things, because of what's going on around us. Our eyes can deceive us, right? So we have to grow mentally that foundation, so that we know that we are more than conquerors, that we can achieve anything with focus and with discipline. And that's just a change, right? Because we're told, we even tell ourselves throughout the day so many negative things. Right. Sir. We have to start to change that thought process, right? So as a man thinketh, he is, right?
So is he.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue. First thing you got to do is you got to speak truth. You got to speak belief into yourself, especially when it comes to trading, right? Because we trade statistical probabilities, and we have to put as much information on our side before we enter the market, because we're trading well.
Right.
So that we can make the best decision. Now, no one wins all the time, but the key is about having consistency, so that your profits are greater than your losses.
I like that. You're helping us already. He's dropping nuggets, y'all. So you make sure you take good notes. This is some good stuff. I hope you're enjoying this stuff, because it is good to me. We thank God for our special guest today, and he's breaking this thing down like a science, and a science it is. There's much more to come. But before we go to that, stay tuned for a commercial break. you for your service. U.S. military coming up on military holiday here. What branch did you serve in?
United States Navy, sir.
Awesome. How many years altogether?
Almost 4, and then I got injured.
Okay, thank you for your service, man, and we're better because of it. I
Thank
was
you.
Air Force. One of my closest friends spent quite a bit in the Navy as well. Yeah.
My dad was Marine Corps, my mom was Air Force, and my
Oh
second
my,
oldest brother was Air Force. Yeah,
oh my God,
yeah. So,
man, where were you stationed?
San Diego, and then Alameda, and then here in Bremerton.
Wow,
Yeah.
incredible, incredible. Thank you again.
USS Carl Vinson was my
Oh
ship.
man, that's some good stuff. Good stuff. Did you engineer in the military, in the Navy?
No, I had a bad recruiting story when I was in the going in the military.
Mm,
So reason I went into the military is because my mom died when I was almost 17.
mm,
Um, so at that time I was angry, I was upset.
yeah,
Had 56, got a girl pregnant. My
yeah,
first 2 kids, and I didn't know anything because I was just graduating high school. So I knew from my family, the military will take care of you, right?
right, right,
So I went in. I was a smart kid,
yeah, yeah.
so, not too smart, but I got an 88 on my ASVAB,
Uh-huh.
and I picked 2 jobs actually, because when you score high enough, you can pick an A school and a C school, so you can specialize.
Right.
The recruiter's like, "Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to get stuck in a job. The Navy has hundreds of jobs. You can see what you want to do and then strike for it." And because I didn't talk to my father or my brother and them,
Uh-huh.
I just did it on my own because I was angry. I ended up making a bad choice by not having a rating going in there, especially when you have a family, because if you
Yeah.
don't have a rating, you can't make rank.
Right. Right.
So I had to work very hard
Yeah.
to get in. Yeah. So
Man, well, that ties in perfect segue into what we're talking about. Make sure in this Forex space, guys, you're watching this, connect with someone that has more insight and foresight than you do. Because when you go at this thing alone, I think you're setting yourself up for failure. There are some people who have done well, and I love what our brother said. Everybody's going to lose some, but it's not a matter of those losses if you have enough wins to offset that and put you in a profitable place. But it comes about by having someone that can coach you, mentor you, train you. And I'm grateful that Travorium has given us that space with a professional group that they've been doing this for decades. But before we go into that, Brother Aaron, I want to ask you this. I'm 53. I didn't know anything about Forex until I was 50. How in the world did that not just happen for me, but how did that happen for so many other people around the United States, perhaps the globe? How did we miss out on something so
well,
huge?
because it's well, I think it's a reason, because like I said, money controls everything, right? There's a
Mm-hmm.
reason that we're told or taught the only thing is go to school, get a degree, go work for a company, invest in the stock market, right? That's all we know. So when people hear about investing, they're talking about the stock market. They're talking about
Mm-hmm.
401ks, 407s or 415s. There's a different number there.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about those type of things, not realizing that the Forex market is the world's largest liquid financial market, because money doesn't sleep, right? The Forex market is the nucleus of all other financial markets because it's cash. The stock side has a cash side which trades in the Forex market. So, for instance, if you have your 401k is usually tied to the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is the top 30 countries. The cash side in the Forex market is the US 30. You have the NASDAQ Composite on the stock side, has a cash side in the Forex market, which is the NASDAQ 100. You have the S&P 500, which is the S&P Mini on the Forex side, the cash side. So all these people that are buying all these stocks in these companies, these people that manage that money, they're taking it over here. Same thing your banks do. If you Google search largest banks 2020 in the Forex market, you'll see that a lot of the largest banks are U.S. banks. J.P. Morgan Chase is one of the largest banks, right? Because banks are in business to make money. They don't want everyone to make money, right? Because you got to have people keep turning the cogs, right? And I don't know if you read Robert Kiyosaki's book Rich Dad Poor
Of
Dad.
course, yes.
there's a quadrant. He broke it down there quadrant, the cash flow quadrant. You have
Yeah.
the left side, you have the right side. On the
Mm-hmm.
left side, you have 95% of the people, which
Mm-hmm.
means you have 65% workers, 30% self
Employment.
business owners, and then
Mm-hmm.
over here you've got your 4% business systems, 1% investors. Right?
Right.
These are 5% of the people not fighting over 95% of the wealth. Where you got 5% of the wealth over here is because the money over here is not for everybody. At least they
Mm.
want you to think that, right? So they don't tell you about this market. They don't tell you about this industry. You have to learn the rules, right? So money is about control. Control is about power, and power is about money. And it's just that cycle.
Mm.
You can't win. If Tony Robbins has a book called Money Master the Game, and in the beginning of his book, he says that some of his friends in the financial industry were mad that he
Mm.
called it a game, but he said that's really what it is, and you have to understand the rules of the game in order to
Right.
survive. You can't win;
Mm.
you can just survive
Mm-hmm.
because you know it's not designed for us as citizens to win.
Man,
So
you hit hard on so many nuggets there. I'm gonna be watching this again.
I probably get on a tangent when I
No,
start
no,
talking
that's
about
good stuff. Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming. But you said something about the banks and how they make their money, and they're making a good portion of it. Some of the major banks, at least, through the Forex industry. Now, unless I'm wrong, they're paying us on the money that we put in less than 1%. But
Oh
you're
yeah,
telling us now that that same bank that's paying us less than 1%, our money is being invested in a Forex, and they're making all kind of money.
yeah,
What?
and you gotta look at it this way: a bank is a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not there to help you make money. They're there to help themselves make money and their shareholders make money, right? So, for instance, if you start with $100 in the forex market, right, and if
Mm-hmm.
you make 1% per day, that's $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do that 5 days a week that the market is open, you made $5. If you
Mm-hmm.
have your money sitting in a bank at $100, it's still going to be $100 at the end of 30 days, unless they charge you a fee for keeping the money in the bank in the first place. So
Mm.
the opportunity is there. And like you said, you make less than 1%, if that, at a bank, right? So it's a financial education problem that we have in regards to money, right? If you go to usdebtclock.org, you can see what the US budget is, and then you can break it down by states. But overall, you can
Mm-hmm.
see the actual budget, the presented budget, and then what the actual spending amount is. And there's two columns that are two little boxes that you see. You'll
Mm-hmm.
see debt per citizen, debt per taxpayer. So
Mm-hmm.
now, since we print our own money, because we've gotten away from our money being backed by a gold standard,
Mm-hmm.
that tax burden is more laborious on the individual, the citizen. So,
Wow.
a new baby comes out, they've already got debt.
Mm.
When you get into the system, you got debt because you're a taxpayer, right? You're
Right.
taxed on your own labor. So
Right.
the thing is too, especially when you're learning to trade wealth, you have to understand you got three kind of taxes. You have tax now, you have tax deferred, and you have tax free. Tax free is tax advantage. That's where everybody wants to be at,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how you keep more of your money for yourself. And it is, about assets over liabilities. But
Mm-hmm.
that's all about growing and changing this up here
Yeah.
as you go through the process.
Wow. Incredible. Break down for us, especially because many of us watching this broadcast, we're just getting started. I'm just getting started. What is Forex? Can you give us some, elementary
Yeah.
definition for it?
Yeah, so Forex is basically the exchange of one country's currency for another. If you've ever been to another country, you've participated in foreign exchange. If you've ever deposited money in a bank, you've participated in foreign exchange. You might not have known it, but you participated. And that's basically all it is. You're exchanging one currency's currency for another. And there are rates for that. That's determined. I don't know who determines that. It's large financial institutions, what they call smart money, or
Mm-hmm.
institutional money, that sets those rates for countries. And
Um,
if you ever look at a um, currency chart, you look at the monthly. Like, for instance, if you look at Euro USD, which is the euro versus the United States dollar, and you look at the monthly chart, that's where you'll see the import and the export agreements between the two countries. No
mhm,
one country's currency is always on top. No one country's currency is always above. You'll
mhm,
you'll see U turns.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see price equilibrium, what they call consolidation. You'll
Mm-hmm.
see all that in that chart there.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's some good stuff. Now, when someone is just getting started, there's a few things they'll need to do. There's some apps they'll need to download. There's an account, brokerage account they'll need to start. Can you give any advice or coaching on those types of things to do, things not to do on that?
Yeah. So, like I said, this is. I mean, there's a lot of steps before you even get into starting to trade well.
Okay.
Um, One, you have to get a demo account, right? A demo account is real market conditions, but with play money,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that you can get into the market and figure things out before you start to go live. When they say live, that's when you're trading real money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got skin in the game. And the purpose of demo trading is so that you can know what not to do when you start to trade real money.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's what I like to tell people too. You want to do a certain volume of trades with demo money before you actually get in and risk real money, right? And
Mm-hmm.
your demo account should be set up with the same type of account size that you're going to do in your real life account. Now, again, it's mental discipline, right? If people can be disciplined enough in their demo trading and realize when they go to their live accounts, especially if they, because the demo account you can open up to all the way to $1 million on a demo account, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can trade whatever you want to, just so you
Right.
can see those lot sizes. And I tell people, it might be good a couple of times so you can see what a higher lot size would do,
Mm-hmm.
while you're leveraging
Mm-hmm.
your positions, just to do that. But realize, unless you have that exact same account of money, those lot sizes are going to be very different.
Right.
And it's very different per whatever instrument that you're trading as well. But speaking specifically just for the Forex currency pairs,
Mm-hmm.
um, like when I'm teaching equity management,
Mm-hmm.
that's trade management and risk management, right? You don't want to risk any more than 0.01 lot size per every $100, and that's just for the standard Forex pairs, right?
Mm-hmm. Wow. What an education we're getting, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to pay attention
Oh,
to.
I'm sorry, Pastor. I forgot about the app question. Yes,
Yeah.
so yes, so the demo app and then your brokerage. When you choose a broker, there are different brokers that are out there. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, Pastor, for cutting you off. I just
So that's
remember
okay. That's
I
okay.
tell you, when I start talking about this, I could go off on
I, the passion
a
comes out, man. I got
I,
it.
I could go off. So when you're looking for brokers, right, you want to have an A book broker. If you do a search on A book brokers, B book brokers,
Mm-hmm.
you can see the difference between the two. An A book broker is the broker that you want. They're
Mm-hmm.
not going to do any funny stuff with the orders that are received. And I don't even know why there are brokers outside of A book brokers.
Mm-hmm.
B book brokers will do shady stuff. They could get your order and hold on to it, keep it internally, or there's a delay in sending your order through to the provider. An A book broker gets your order, they take it, they push it through. There's no holder, there's no funny stuff. So you want to have an A book broker. You want to
Mm-hmm.
have an ECN broker because they're about the cheapest as far as spreads and fees.
Give us
Spreads
that.
and fees, ECN.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Spreads and fees are how brokers make their money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want a broker that has low fees, low spreads.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Low fees and low spreads. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're getting these nuggets. It's going to help us. And are there any particular apps that you would say would be better than the others, or are they all pretty much the same?
I don't want to recommend one broker over the other. Because
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan said, trust but verify. You want
Gotcha.
to when you're starting to trade wealth, you want to do your due diligence
Yeah.
to look into it because it's a serious matter.
Yes.
Money is a serious matter. It's a tool, right? So we need to understand everything, before we jump full into the water, right? So that's why I say look up A book brokers. Yes, there are some that are better than others, uh, but just look, do your research. I don't really care about regulated and unregulated brokers
Mm-hmm.
um, so much, and regulation just means that a government has oversight or control into it,
Mm-hmm.
to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Interesting. Very interesting. Man, you've helped us a lot already. Let's wrap it up with this. I'm gonna ask you to give us some of the top things to do if we're just getting started, and some of the top things to avoid, and then we'll end talking about this company called Travorium and what has been most appealing to you inside of Travorium. So let's go with the top things to avoid in Forex and the top things to do.
Okay, the top things to avoid in Forex is trading money with a gambling mentality. Don't
Mm,
do it. There are three rules. One, protect your money. Two, grow your money. Three, refer back to rule number one. And again, this is all when I'm teaching people equity management, right? This is all because the number one thing is capital preservation,
right.
and that's the number one thing to avoid is getting rid of that gambling mentality, focusing on the money instead of focusing on the skill.
Wow. I love
That is the downfall. That's the biggest downfall. Because yes, you can make a lot of money, and people, we call it securing the bag. And one of the hashtags that I use is paid to wait, right? Because it's the mentality of having a predator mentality and a hunter mentality. Hunters can get themselves into a bind. A predator doesn't, right? And you have a predator mentality when you're in this market, meaning that when the sharks are eating, institutional money, smart money, you want to eat when they eat, like the fish that swim under the sharks.
Yeah.
Well, you want to eat when they eat, not going against them. Um, that's
Gosh.
that's that's the biggest thing. That's what kills people is the mindset, the gambling mindset, because they don't realize that money is a tool. But
Mm,
once they can start to see that this will give them a real life money tree, they
mm,
just have to learn to plant it, grow it, cultivate it, and then pluck it at will.
mm. Nuggets again. Plant it, pluck it, grow it, and what did you say?
And I said plant it,
Mm-hmm.
cultivate it, grow it, and then pluck it at will. So you're when you're cultivating it, you're watering it, you're pruning where you need to, right? And it's
Yes.
growing. And then once it gets to the time for you to harvest, you could take some of the fruit off of it.
Mm, I love it. Give us one more tip on this. Which is wiser for someone to go in with whatever money, leisure money? Well, you said start number one with the simulated account
Yeah, the
where
demo.
you're not using real money. But after that, should one go in with whatever amount one can afford? Don't take your house money, don't take your bill money and all that, but take whatever money you can afford to lose, because it's possible to lose.
Right.
And then should they take once they're winning, should they then take their profit and reinvest it and continue doing it that way? Or do you
Yes.
recommend they continue every month, they just put a certain amount in?
No, 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 no. So this is what I recommend. I tell people because most brokerage you can start off with as little as $10 to $50, right? I say
Mm-hmm.
start out with $50 because you can lose $50 just as fast as you can lose $500.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Start out with $50, and because you're going to compound.
Mm-hmm.
Albert Einstein said that compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Right.
Yes.
Those who understand it make it. Those who don't pay it. Right.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
good.
what this is about is compounding. I recommend that people compound for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Again, $50 is going to help you to have patience and discipline. You're not going to have a lot of money up front,
Yeah.
right? Trading $50, but it's going to teach you the discipline and the patience as you continue to grow. So as your account grows because of that consistency and discipline, only thing that changes is your lot sizes as
Mm-hmm.
your balance continues to grow. And that's what you want to do. But people are grown. They're going to do what they want to do. And everybody makes mistakes. Everybody will go in because they're looking at the dollar signs, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're trading 0.01, which we call a penny, but it's not really a penny, but for new people, we say 0.01 is a penny.
Mm-hmm.
You're not making much on that, right?
Right.
So you want, like I said, you're developing discipline and consistency. The Apostle Paul said, you want to run the race.
Yes.
You got to run the race with perseverance. You got to
Mm-hmm.
run the race with discipline because you know what the prize is, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the same thing we got to look at when we go to trading.
Wow, that's some good stuff. Man of God, you blessed us immensely, man. Let's talk about, as we close out, Travorium. I think you got started with us about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. What was so attractive to you about that space, what you saw?
The travel, man, because travel is about lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Travel is about. I used to work for Alaska Airlines / Horizon Airlines. I was a load coordinator there, part time.
Uh-huh.
Uh, And I love the travel. I love the traveling. I mean, that's one of the easiest jobs that a person can have is working at the airline because you only work when the plane comes in, you only work when the plane goes out, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know, all the benefits,
yeah,
flying for free, but it's not really free because you earn it. But that's why I had the quotes there.
yeah,
Flying for free, international travel is deeply discounted.
yeah.
Travel is about lifestyle, but so many people when they travel, they don't have the money to stay like they want to stay. They don't have any
Right,
money to shop when they get there like they want to
right,
shop. They
right,
don't have any money to eat at the places they want to eat at, right?
right.
So trading is also about lifestyle. So I have a thing. I do travel ketone trader. That's my hashtag. Right?
Uh-huh.
Travel ketone trader because everything's about lifestyle. Life is short and sometimes shorter than that. And people
Mm,
don't seem to get that. People don't seem to get that and shorter than that and sometimes shorter than that.
mm.
So they're wasting time. They're procrastinating with doing the things that they need to do to have the better life that they actually deserve. Because
Yeah.
God put us on this planet to win, to be conquerors of it.
Yes.
But we're stuck in our own way, and a lot of times we want to blame the devil when he ain't got nothing to do with
Come
it.
on. We blame ourselves.
Yeah. So
Lack of knowledge being
yeah,
destroyed generation after generation.
yes,
Man,
sir.
this is some good stuff, brother. I'm so glad to get acquainted and get connected. The vision I have, it lines up with Travorium, and I've heard this from my brother Todd Strand and Mr. David Hart. Shout out to them. The vision is literally to create a culture that so changes everyday ordinary lifestyle for people that we're going and we're traveling to those places that most people had only dreamed about, or they can't even pronounce the name of the place we're going, but they got enough money to go. And when they get there, it's not just the money and that experience, is what's going to happen when we get to those destinations all around the world. People from different cities, states, even nations coming to some of the best resorts on the planet and enjoying one another's company, enjoying one another's camaraderie, enjoying one another's fellowship and spirituality. For so many of us are kingdom minded as yourself.
Yeah.
Shout out to not only you, but your son also, who's in ministry. Um, and we're doing this thing together, man. And as the Lord himself said, I've come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And I believe that the vision of this company so complements and undergirds what it is that God says is ours. So you're a big part of that, man. And I believe that some of that travel, man, we'll get together and we're really going to have some great times. I'm looking forward to some fellowships in the future, some nice
Yes, sir.
places.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
Me
right.
too.
Any closing words?
God willing. God willing.
Yes, sir. The Lord willing. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Any closing words today?
No, sir. Again, I just appreciate you having me on here, and I know, like I said, I when I start talking about this, like I'm passionate about it, right? So
Yes.
I could go off on a tangent, and hopefully I didn't confuse too many people that I provided some value,
Yeah.
and I'm here as long as God continues to allow me to walk this earth,
Yes, sir.
and like I said, my goal on the Travorium side is just to help people to understand that this is their real life money tree.
That's good. That's good. Well, we'll close with this thought. We are Joshua generation, and we are claiming God's promises together right here, right now. Much love, my brother. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What would you do if you had extra time? What would you do if you had extra income? What would you do if you had both? Vacation? Adventure the world? Pursue your passions? Spend more time with friends and family? The truth is that most people dream of a different life, a better life. So how do you get more time and money? According to Robert Kiyosaki, the author of one of the best-selling financial books of all time, 95% of all people are on the wrong path. Most people have some sort of job where they have to show up every day in order to get paid, which leaves very little time and sadly very little money. Only 5% of the population has learned how to generate residual income, giving them the freedom to do what they want, when they want, and this group controls 95% of the money. So, which group do you want to belong to? Welcome to Travorium, a company dedicated to providing people from all walks of life better ways to achieve a better life. Travorium has quickly spread to over 50 countries. Founded by world-class entrepreneur David Hart in 2013, Mr. Hart was a Southern California Inc. magazine finalist for Entrepreneur of the Year at the young age of 24. Today, Mr. Hart is pioneering new concepts in two of the largest industries on the planet, allowing average people to save money and make money with their mobile phone or laptop devices. Travorium began its rapid ascension by disrupting the single largest industry on the planet, travel. Our unique model has been helping members from around the world do three things: travel for less, up to 70% off, allowing customers to earn free travel points, giving customers an opportunity to partner with us so they can earn income even while they're traveling the globe. The Travorium membership gives you the ability to vacation every year. Members choose one of our 2,000-plus beautiful resorts where they can get away with their family, or go to one of our curated world tours, where we bring like-minded people together from around the globe for an experience that cannot be purchased anywhere. The vacations keep coming every year, and the memories will last a lifetime. Travorium's next path was to bring educational products and services to a travel-related industry known as foreign exchange, or Forex for short. As people travel to other countries, the first thing they typically do is exchange their money for the currency of the country they are entering into. The Forex market happens to be the single largest financial market in the world, roughly 20 times the size of the US stock market. Instead of trading the value of a company like the stock market, the Forex market trades the value of an entire country's currency to the tune of over $6 trillion per day. Most people have never even heard of the Forex market because up until a few years ago, you had to have a net worth in the millions, and the industry required a minimum deposit of $100,000 in your brokerage account. Today, if you have a cell phone and as little as $100, you can trade currencies. However, the key is knowing when to buy and when to sell. So Travorium is here to help. We have launched a program with experienced Forex traders who specialize in teaching everyday people how to trade like the pros. A better life tomorrow demands you find a better way today, and educating yourself on options is the beginning of that process. We invite you to learn more about our movement. We invite you to achieve your better life.
into the canyon to see the sights. Take the ride. Today's David. We'll see you up in the air.